Welcome back to Metals, Money, and Markets. We are at February 16th. With me, as always, Mickey Fulp, the Mercenary Geologist, is going to break it down from MiningClips.com. I'm Rob Goodman. Well, Mickey, I'd say the word of the day was probably rebounder for the week here. Let's head over to the metals here, where a weaker dollar certainly drove the prices higher in the metals.
This is true, Rob. Weaker U.S. dollar, precious metals up on inflation worries, as were other commodities. Gold finished at 1347, up almost 2.4%. Silver up almost 2% at 1662, but it continues to lag gold. Platinum had a very nice week, up almost 4.5% to 1,005. At one time, it exceeded the price of palladium, but palladium really rallied on Thursday and Friday. Closed at 1032, up a whopping 6.5%. Looking at the ratios, I think we should pay particular attention to the gold-silver ratio. It is at 81. We haven't seen this for nearly 2 years above this price, or this ratio, pardon me. And the time before that was during the global economic crisis of October to December of '08. So that's a strong buy signal for silver.
And meanwhile, copper had a ginormous week.
Well, it did, and as did iron ore and all the base metals, and palladium, which you've already mentioned, which acts as an industrial metal. Copper's back up over 320, ended up the week at 323, up over 5.5%, driven by inflation fears, very strong global and Chinese demand, despite the Chinese New Year starting on Friday, and that led to BDI with a 6-month low. But copper remains strong with a modest near term, but a very strong forward curve.
And shifting gears over to energy, another rebound week here. Took back some of the losses from the weeks prior.
Yeah, after a 9% loss last week, oil came back. WTI had a over 4% gain, back over $61, finished at 61.61. U.S. rigs were flat. U.S. inventories have been up the last 3 weeks, but the oil market's rebounded despite that. One of the things driving energy markets in the U.S. is U.S. LNG, increasing exports to Asian markets. And we always like to throw in a tidbit or two about the oil markets. Get this, much like the Venezuelans with state-owned oil companies, Nigeria, which is Africa's greatest oil producer and exporter, imported 27 million gallons of gasoline last week.
Quite a number. Heading over here to the currency markets, as mentioned, U.S. dollar, a big week down, a nice rally by the euro. Loonie didn't rally as much, though.
Yeah, U.S. dollar was down Monday and Thursday, had pretty good rally on Friday. Hit a low 88.6 on Thursday, rallied to 89.14, but still lost 1.5% on the week. Euro, mirror image of that, was up to 124 for a 1.3% gain. Loonie remained below 80 cents, didn't move much, closed at 0.797 for a 0.2% gain.
And wrapping up with these equities markets, just rallied like champions this week across the board.
Well, the correction was short-lived, if that's what it ends up being. We gained about 50% back this week of U.S. markets, up +4 to +5%. The VIX drifted lower. It went below 20 on Friday. So once again, pretty good week all around. I'm looking at my board as opposed to last week with everything in the red except for the U.S. dollar. Everything's in the black this week except for the U.S. dollar. Dow finished at 25,219, 4.2% gain. S&P 500, 2732 for a 4.3% gain. NASDAQ, 72.39 for a 5.3%. And finally, we'll take a look at the venture exchange. It had a vacillating week, day over day, finished nicely up at 830 for a 2.1% gain over the week. But let's get this. The volumes are half of what they were during January's peak week. As we roll into the couple of weeks before PDAC, we usually expect a rally in the Toronto Venture Exchange.
Okay, Mickey, abbreviated trading week. We'll catch up with you next week. So have a great weekend, and thanks for the insight.
Oh, I forgot about that, Rob. Happy President's Day tomorrow.